Oh no, someone has stolen the sunshine, boys and girls. Where is the sunshine this morning? That's it. It is the apocalypse. The apocalypse is here. Good morning to you, boys and girls. It's Wednesday. Is it? Wednesday, the 3rd of June, 2020. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom Talk. Yes, very grey out there. Very grey. Slightly down on the old temperatures, but I'm sure it'll be all right, my darlings. We're all here keeping nice and warm together, aren't we, in the morning? I'm very pleased that I mentioned last night that I think the chat box is working extremely well now. Now that we sort of put the show up with the time it's going to start early on, like I sit here and I get it already, do that, and it just sits there and waits for the time for it all to start working. It's very clever. Isn't it clever what we can do now with all this stuff now? Now that happens, as soon as I click ready, not ready, but when I click, what word would you use it actually? When you click done or whatever, then everything sits there and waits for me to start a show, including the chat box opening. And I noticed one or two of you pop on now and again to see if anyone's out around to have a little bit of a chat with each other, which I think that's absolutely wonderful. That I love it. Well, so good. Quite pleased about that. At least we get something right sometimes, don't we? Anyway, who's with us this morning? Let's have a look. Dr. Gregorian, Paul and Lou in house. Morning, Paul and Lou. Diane Jebb, Jason Hughes, Gavin Bass. There's Rachel. Rachel is back in the house. Oh, yes. Rachel is back in the house. Good morning, Rachel. Morning, Rachel. Have you got a job, Rachel? Let me hear. Oh, yes, of course you have. TikTok Queen. We've got a few people with different jobs on this channel now, which I'll refer to a little bit later on. Okay. We have Michael Pullman. Good morning, Michael, who is our head of nature on this channel. Head of nature is Michael Pullman. All right there. Good morning to Charlie Ray, 9 years old. Morning, Charlie. Morning to you, sir. Do you like my flamingos, Charlie? They're good, aren't they? Look. I love it. I love it. Morning to Jason Hughes. Hello to you, sir. Adrian Richardson up nice and early today. Hello, Adrian. Dave Moses is in the house. He's ready to start his new radio station. Yes. What's the on date for that, Dave? I'm sure I know it. Just remind us what the on date is for your radio station. And, of course, the title. We'll all be listening. Obviously not while I'm on, but when I finish my show. Yes. Have you got a job for Ian Lee? That is the question. Yes, some of you will know Ian Lee, who's a radio type person. I'm not a fan of his show. It's not for me. That's not to say he's not good at it, because he is. He's very good at it. Quite a few people like him, just not for me. But sadly, he's lost his job at Talk Radio. It was in the news yesterday, it was. And unfortunately, as you know, Dave, other people won't know this, the way you lose jobs in radio, a lot of the time, right? So you'll do your show, and then you'll finish your show, okay? And then when you've come off air, when you finish your show, the governor says, could you pop in to see me, please? And they get rid of you there and then. That's it. No chance to say goodbye to the listeners or whatever. Nothing like that. That, I'm afraid, is how it often happens in radio. Now, I did do a proper radio job, so to speak. I was on Liberty Radio in London, 1999 to 2000, under possibly someone that you know, Dave, Kevin Spector. He was the boss there, the sort of, not the big boss, the programme director. Okay? And I got there by accident. They were using a jingle machine to play out overnight, and of course it kept breaking down. It wasn't fit for purpose. So a friend of mine worked there, and I said, "Look, we quickly need 2 DJs. Are you interested?" So I went in there, and off we went, and I got paid. Overnight DJ getting paid. Who's ever heard of that now? No, doesn't happen anymore, does it? Anyway, so that's how it went. And we were booked to do something like 6 weeks, but it turned into about a year and a half, which I must say I loved every minute. It was tiring at times. There was a couple of times, let me tell you, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, oh, like that. And you've got to sound happy, haven't you? Must sound happy at all times. Happy, happy, happy. Here is a happy face for you this morning. It wasn't a horror face. That is a happy face, darling. A happy face. Anyway, so this went on. And then one day the governor called us in. And he said, all right, boys, they've now got some more equipment which will be going in the next 2 weeks. So your job is about to finish, I'm afraid. Not quite yet. We'll let you know when it is. And a couple of days before the job ended, he called. It was me and my friend David Rosen. We worked in the same pub at the time, the Black Cap in Camden. And he called us both in and said, sorry, lads, I want to thank you for all your work, but we'll be stopping on this date. And I think it was 2 days ahead. So it didn't happen to me. We were told a couple of days before. Now, that is very unusual in radio, literally, because they get worried that you're going to start slagging off the station, which I would never do that, you see. That's not in me to do that. I would say, well, thank you for the job. I've enjoyed it. And thanks for the money that you paid me. Other people might take a different view. You know how mouthy some people are. I said, well, I can't believe it. I've worked 20 years. I've given half my life to this. And now they're getting rid. No, you see, I wouldn't do that, you see. I really wouldn't do that. I just take it. Thank you very much for the money. And that's it. What do you want me to do? You know, whatever you say is not going to change someone's opinion. But it is an awful way to go. I think sometimes to be told, like, you finish your show. Could you come and see me? I'm afraid you're finished now. That's it. No chance to say goodbye to anyone. So it's a great show with Ian Lee. I've no doubt in my mind he's a very good broadcaster. That he'll find something somewhere else, possibly on the BBC. You know, but I saw a post by someone else, Dave, who says, I mean, if you listen to talk, certainly LBC went this way years ago. It went this way years ago. It got rid of basically irrelevant programmes. Now, what I do now is probably quite irrelevant. You know, we steer away from the political stuff. We steer away from most of the serious stuff. Now and again, we touch on things, but we steer away from that. And I try to pick out what are fairly irrelevant stories to what's going on around us most of the time. You know that. And LBC used to have several shows like that where it would literally be, what was his name? The bloke on That's Life. Can't think of his name now. Anyway, he had a show on LBC and you'd tune on at night and he'd be talking about stuff like how he makes jams. And people would be ringing in and say, well, this is how I make jam. And it was all very nice and sort of chatty. Do you know what I mean? But that changed some years ago now, and it's all political stuff. It's very, very repetitive. Very repetitive. It's all about political stuff. And you might get someone doing something on religion, and they'll always start off with, I'm not religious, but one of those things. And then they do the race thing, and they do... as I say, politics and all that, and it just keeps coming round again, and it's incredible. And Brexit, oh God, didn't they go on about that? On and on and on. And where's the fun stuff gone? All the fun stuff has gone. All the fun stuff has gone, and I think that's the way talk radio are going as well. You know, because Ian Lee, as I say, I'm not really a fan, but nevertheless, he used to go on at night. He did a nighttime show on there, and it was pretty irrelevant, really, I suppose. It was just general chit-chat, the same as what we do on here. I think all that's going to go. Unless the little community stations pick up something like that, which would be quite nice. You know, people just ringing in, oh, hello, let's talk to Maureen, who's listening in, I don't know, in Basingstoke today or somewhere like that. And hello, Maureen, how are you? And what have you been doing today? Well, I've been in the garden. I've done some plant pots. It's quite nice to have a conversation like that sometimes, isn't it? But it's all disappearing. It's all disappearing from the like main stations. Of course, the BBC local stations still do stuff like that, don't they? They like to have little bits of chat as well as doing some news stuff. But it's a shame. It's a shame. Anyway, that's what's happened there. Morning to Mandy Davenport. Good morning to you. We're all well here, Charlie. I hope you're well as well. All right, Charlie. Hope you're well as well there. Good morning to... Oh, let's jump down there. Colin K. Hello to you, Michael Lawrence. And Christopher Woodhouse up nice and early again this morning. Morning, Christopher. Jason says you're just a number at work nowadays. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And then when you ask for a rise... not me, but when a lot of people ask for a rise, they say, no, we're not going to give you a rise. If you want to go, go. There's a lot of companies are like that. They just let people go. You know, good people who are very good at the job. No, rather than give you an extra £1 an hour, they go and get someone else off the street and train them. Spend a fortune training them. I don't understand people. I really don't. Excuse me. Charlie says I'm crazy. Well, we all know that, Crutcher. They all know that on there, mate. Morning to Adam the plumber, winner of the fridge magnet this week. He claimed last night. Your ticket's still here, Adam. Though perhaps you'd like the ticket to frame that as well, would you? Morning to Dan S and Dr. Gregorian. Used to be a prank caller, yeah. So there you go. Dr. Gregorian was a fan of Ian Lee there. He had a lot of fans there. A lot of fans. Morning to Mr. Danny Gibbs up there in Cleethorpes. He'll be going for a little walk along the beach later. Perhaps you could pick up some litter while you're there. Actually, there's no litter up there, is there? That's right. Ian did get sacked from LBC main station as well as a few years ago. I don't know what he did on there. Don't know. Do you listen to Steve Allen on LBC? He's quite different. Dan, he's the only one left. And I worry for him because I love his show. He's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But he's the only one left doing his own thing. Everyone else on there is now fitting into a format. I mean, Christ, that blooming James O'Brien, what a miserable git that is. Moaning all the time. Oh, give it a rest. I mean, have you ever seen someone with such an unfortunate face? He looks like he's been chewing a wasp, doesn't he? What a miserable git he is, honestly. And then, well, I mean, we could go on Bat Radio for ages, really, and, one of those things. Good morning to, our Days Out is in the house as well. So good morning to you, sir. Welcome along to the show. I got lost in the forest again yesterday. It's not like I'm going off the main path or anything like that. I'm on these main paths, but I'm going further now, you see. Yesterday, I think I did, about 11,000 steps. 4.5 mile, 5 mile walk in about an hour and a half, and it's not too fast. It's a nice, easy pace. I did order some walking trainers because I was getting, as you know, I was getting painful feet, and we worked out, it was actually my nephew's wife says, "What are you walking?" And I said, "Well, just my trainers." She says, "What ones?" I said, "The red ones." She said, "Are they flat?" I said, "Yes. There's nothing in them at all. They're just flat." She said, "That's why you got bad feet." So I'm using other trainers now, which have got a little bit of a thing in them. But I thought I'd order some walking ones, which weren't particularly expensive. You keep away from the main brand names. I think they were something like £35 or something like that. Well, that was nearly 2 weeks ago now. Amazon have got incredibly slow, obviously down to all this business here, but they're still not here yet. They were supposed to come Saturday, and then I got a message saying, no, it'll probably be 2nd to 3rd of June now. Well, that's yesterday and today, so we'll see if they get here today. And then we got a roll of tape that I ordered. Jason, I'm so sorry. I keep meaning to video my shed repair over the side there. But I've ordered some proper repair tape rather than waterproof gaffer tape, if you see what I mean, and plastic bags, which I'm going to put over the top of it. What's it made out of? Hang on, I'll tell you in a minute. DIY people will want to know this to know that I'm using the right thing, which I'm probably not. You know what my DIY's like, everyone? You saw the tiles on the wall, didn't you? Hey? There it is. Fu Wong Butil tape. B-U-T. Is that how you say it? Butil? B-U-T. Sounds like something to do with breasts, doesn't it? Butil tape. B-U-T-Y-L. Tape for roof and leak repair. 50mm wide, which is about that, innit? Something like that. I don't know what it is. And 5 metres long. Aluminium coating, flashing repair tape sealant seal strip for repairing roof capes and gutters. So I thought to myself, I'll just get out a couple of strips of that and I'll put that over it. And possibly staple it down in the good bit as well. But it's not here yet. And the funny thing is that one, right, I've already had the thing. First of all, about 6 o'clock at night, I had a message from Amazon telling me that it had been delivered and handed to the customer. And I thought, well, no one's knocked at my door. You see, they seem to forget a lot of people have these Ring doorbells now. So I had a look at that. No one's been to my door. Went outside the front. Maybe the camera didn't pick anything up. No, nothing outside there. So I've gone straight on the chat thing, type, and the message came back and it says, oh, it looks like it's been updated too quickly. Well, what's the point of that then? So you know what's happened, don't you? Someone's probably sat in a van somewhere and, you know, those Amazon drivers do appear to work very, very hard. don't they? Someone's obviously sat in a van somewhere at the beginning of their shift, seen all the parcels gone, delivered, and then gone out and done the work. Well, that's no good, is it? Why would you update something as being delivered when it hasn't been delivered? Wait till you put the blooming box down. Dear me. So that's what came back on the message. It looks like it's been delayed. And then later on that night, I got a text message. A text message came through. Yeah, where's the text message? Text message from Amazon again. Here we are. Look. Delivery delay. Your Amazon package with faux wong butyl tape is still on its way, but will arrive later. More info at. But when you tick on the more info at, it still gives you the message that it's been delivered. Stupid. Blimmin' stupid. Anyway, so I'm waiting for that to come as well. But the trainers I ordered on... And now that says expected 2nd of June. Well, it's the 3rd now. Track package. When did I order this? 22nd of May I ordered these. 22nd of May I ordered these at £33. And they look like walking boots, but they're trainers. Very sorry your delivery is late. We apologise for the inconvenience. I mean, how long does this stuff take? What's that? 2 weeks? 2 weeks for the trainers? My feet are practically dropping off the legs. Terrible. Anyway, that's the Amazon thing. So I've ordered these trainers to go on my walks and perhaps make my feet a bit better. They're nowhere near as bad as they were. But I got lost in the forest again. I think the amount of times I'm getting lost in that forest now, I'll be able to map the whole thing out myself. I discovered, because over in the forest, once you get in there quite deep, when I say deep, there's still main paths, very wide main paths, but you're right in there, no 3 phone signal at all. And generally, I'll leave the house and I start rabbiting onto people. Not that I'm known to talk a lot. I start rabbiting to people on the phone. And as I get further and further, it's and you start losing it. And then you lose them completely. So I carry on walking, and eventually I usually get lost in there somewhere. Because I'm going completely off different routes now. I'm discovering that it's much wider and bigger, the forest, than I thought it was. And then you get the Google Map thing out. Right, you get the Google Map thing out, and it can't get a signal. So you don't know where you are. Can't get back home. I could be stuck over there forever. No one cares. I could have to live off eating the trees. Like a woodpecker. Have you seen these woodpeckers? Like that. Very dangerous. I could be eaten. Maybe there's bears over there. Bears. Or wolves. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, 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 ow. There could be wolves over the forest watching me. All you see is those little... If you go late at night, you'll be walking along and you'll just see pairs of eyes watching you. Yes. Hang on a minute, I can't see the music. Where's it gone? It's over there. You could see pairs of eyes watching you like that as you're walking through, couldn't you? Little eyes. And then they blink, don't they, like that. You can't see them. And then they reappear. And gradually more and more eyes appear watching you. Dozens and dozens of sets of eyes waiting to eat you. Ah! That could happen. No one cares. You wouldn't miss me. I wouldn't be missed. So the Google Maps stops working. However, I have now discovered, after investigations, I could be an investigative journalist, couldn't I? Perhaps I could be the BBC's version of Piers Morgan. I don't know. I think I'd be quite good at being Piers Morgan. All I'd have to do is have 2 questions on my piece of paper and just keep shouting and shouting and screaming the same questions at whoever I'm interviewing. Will you please answer the question? On and on. I had to turn it off this morning. He was doing it again this morning to a bloke who wants to be the London mayor. On and on and on. And he'd come on to talk about one thing. Now, what was it he'd come on to talk about? I think... Oh, I can't remember now. And then off he goes on to Dominic Cummings. It was completely irrelevant with the conversation that was happening on there. And I'm thinking, can we go back to what you were talking about? And he turned it off eventually, turned it over. And what was on the other side? Something else depressing of similar depressingness. So I turned the whole thing off in the end and had a FaceTime with my mate, which made me almost late to be up here today. I was rushing today, rushing. I've got a few photos to send you to show you this morning, boys and girls. How are we doing on the old photo side of thing? Let's see how many people we got with us this morning. Have we reached double figures today? Possibly not. Let's have a look. 34. Okay, we want 18 likes today. 18 likes. There's quite a lot to show you this morning. There was one particular thing from Terry sent in a video. Unfortunately, I was so late coming up here this morning that I haven't had a chance to download that. But all the other pictures that have been sent in are waiting on the system in exchange for just 18 likes this morning. Okay? Anyway, so I discovered on this Google Map thing that you can download, right? You can download, where is it now? Let me show you the Google Map thing. I know there's some of you who don't have smartphones. Maureen's, I don't know if Maureen's with us this morning. She hasn't got a smartphone, so she'd be interested in this. So that's the Google Map thing, you see. And you type in, say, if I'm out and about, right? I can just type in home, like home, touch home like that. And then it tells me where I am. There you go. And how to get home. Except it says I'm already home, or words to that effect. It gives you a route. Now, it works off the 3G phone system, of the 4G phone system. The phone system works off the phone system, okay? So, if you're out of range of the phone, if your phone's not working, the internet doesn't work, doesn't know where you are. However, I discovered that you can download a map of your local area, which is quite a large area, and then that goes onto your phone and then works with the satellites. You know, the different satellites up there, the GPS satellites. So that will keep working. So I did that the other day and I tested it out yesterday. I walked into a place where there was no phone signal, fired up the Google Maps, and it knew exactly where I was. Won't get lost again. Thank you very much. As long as I stick within that area. And it's a very large area. You'd never really walk out of that. But what I'm confused about, the Apple Maps. Now, that's the maps that you get with your phone, if you see what I mean. Again, it seems to be an online thing. But I don't seem to be able to find on the Apple Maps the walking or cycling routes. I can only find the driving routes on there. And I've gone on the internet. The trouble is, when you go on the internet and you look for different, like for instructions on various different things, all the old instructions are on there as well. I'm sure you've come across this problem yourself. All the old instructions are on there as well, okay, of a time before the most recent update. And often the pictures, what do you call that? Interface? The interface you're looking at can look completely different to what you're looking at there because it's out of date. No one takes down the old stuff. It's very annoying. And I found various instructions on how to get the walking thing up, but I can't find it at all on here now. There doesn't seem to be, I mean, the only, what's that, transport, mark my, see, powered by TomTom it is as well, it says here. Add a missing place, report an issue, traffic labels, but there doesn't seem to be a walking option on the maps at all. So I don't know if anyone knows how to do that. Have a look at your iPhones. Open the Apple Maps. I think it's just, hang on, what's it called? It's just called Maps, not Google Maps. The one that comes with your Apple phone. Open that and see if you can. Oh, maybe I haven't. Maybe that's not Apple Maps that I've got, is it? Hang on a minute. Let's double check that. Where's the blooming store? I can't find anything on these things. Apple Maps. It's Apple Maps, isn't it? Apple. Because they had a bit of a hoo-ha, didn't they? There was something wrong with the Apple Maps some times ago. Oh, iMaps. Oh, Maps. Oh, no. See, open. Maps. Open. So I've got it already. That is the Apple Maps, isn't it? Although it's got something up there, iMaps. I don't know what that is. I don't think that's Apple. It just says Maps. See? Maps. So I don't know. There just doesn't seem to be a walking choice on there, or a cycling one, just for the cars there. Very, very strange and mysterious. Mornings to Peter Paliwoda. Do you use no signal to get rid of a boring conversation? Yes, I do, to be honest, Peter. And you're very close to it, so be careful. Good morning to Rachel. We would all turn up and search for you, Chris, especially Mick Davenport. He would miss your singing. I know he would. I know he. What would you do in the morning? What did you all do in the morning before this crap, as a matter of interest? What did everyone used to do in the morning? DIY disasters on United Kingdom Talk Radio, hosted by Chriso. Why do you call me Chriso, by the way? Why is it Chriso? A very good morning to Heidi Young. Heidi, good morning, Heidi. Heidi is one of the pictures I've got to show for you this morning. Okay, if you want to see Heidi's pictures and some more, we require 18 likes this morning. 18 likes, if you're looking at the video screen. Underneath the video screen, you might have to make it smaller, is a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Hit the thumbs up, that is a like. That will increase the number on my screen. Heidi's sent in a lovely picture, actually. So we've got that to show you. I'm glad you like the new backdrop, Heidi. That'll be up for a few months. I like to change it now and again. I was thinking about when we eventually get up to the caravan, the backdrop I've got there is the balloons. But quite frankly, we haven't seen it for so long that I think I'm going to leave that there for a while, because then you'll know I'm up there. Good morning to Sabrina Walker. Hello to you. Peter had all the capital people in my pub in 1989. Oh, that's when they did entertainment, Peter. That is when the DJ entertained you. And then gradually it's been thrashed out of them to just become basically robots. You know, incredibly sad news a while ago. Sad news in the fact that a lot of people in radio have now lost their jobs. These big boys have networked everything out. That means all these little local DJs, you know, I don't know, one in Berkshire, one in Surrey, a couple in London, one in Essex. All those people lost their jobs, and now there's only one person, and they've joined all the radio stations up together, which was not what independent local radio was about when it was first introduced. Not at all. And so all those people have lost their jobs. That's sad. But what was also sad is that they all sounded the same anyway. You know, they're not, these young people, not just young, these people are not allowed to develop their talent anymore, I don't think. They really aren't. Morning, Maureen. There's Maureen joining us there. They're not allowed to develop that. All they do want them to do is say the station name twice at the beginning and the end of every link. A link is the little bit that they talk in between the records. Yeah? So they say the station name at the beginning and the end and the time, and that's about it. It's just boring. Boring. That being said, it's very sad that so many people have lost their jobs. Who's making all the money? Morning to Mark Hobbs joining us there. Mark Hobbs is in the house as well. Let's just scroll up there. Oh, there's an email from Peter Paliwoda. Yes, apologies, Peter. I noticed this yesterday. It had gone into the spam folder for some reason. Don't worry about that. That just happens sometimes, Peter. But Peter writes, sent this on Monday, actually. He said, "Hi, Chris. Only to give you a handle on what's happening with Royal Mail. My magnet turned up on Monday." Peter won a fridge magnet last week, so that has now arrived at his house. Excellent. You also asked in the show last week about the direction of my solar panels, because Peter's got solar panels, the same as I have. I'm only west-facing here, so I don't get the full benefit of it. That being said, it does save me a lot of money. General, the electric bill here is about £30 to £35 a month. It's not bad, is it, eh? He says, my solar panels are just 5 degrees off south, so he's bang on it. He says, I have payments of £5,890 so far. Okay, that's a government payment that you get when you get solar panels. Okay, it has changed over the years. When I got my solar panels, it was quite low. It's quite low, but nevertheless, I get a couple of £100 a year just for having the solar panels up, whether or not I use the electricity. Peter, and he's had his installed in August 2012. The cost of installation £7,400, and so far he's had payments from the government for £5,890 over the period, over the long, not just a one-off, you know, over the period of time. So that's great. You also get 8 years of free electricity when the sun's out, so reduced gas and electric bills, and of course the FIT payments, they're called. FIT payments, that's the government thing. The guarantee for 25 years. Tax index linked to and tax free. Fantastic. Fantastic. So he's quids in there. So there we are. I'm very pleased about that. All right. Very pleased you're making a little bit of money there. So it really is good. Really is good that that's happened for you there, Peter. And I'd done mine before you, and I have to say I paid a little bit more than you. Not much more. When I had mine done, I was working every night of the week, hard-working DJ. I was doing actually 8 sessions a week, 8 DJing sessions a week. And I was earning really good money, and I had some spare money. And I saw these solar panels, and I thought, yeah, I really want some of these. And I ordered them. And the total cost... Wait for it. The total cost of my installation before the prices started coming down was £20,000. But the government were paying half of that. Okay, so the cost to me ended up for being about £9,500, which I paid over a period of time, and that was fine. And I've now had them, 15 years, something like that. 15 years. Well pleased. I don't know the exact amount of money I've been paid by the government, but the actual payment was low at the time. It was something like 12 pence a unit. More after that, it became something like 40 pence a unit or whatever it was. That's the amount of electricity that you make, yeah? And then you get a payment for that, you see. So, I mean, well worth doing, you know, if you ever got a bit of spare cash. I wouldn't be able to do that now, unfortunately. But at the time, I had the money. And by doing that at the time, I save money now, you see. So when you get a bit of spare cash, you know, if you don't want to put it away, have a look around about perhaps something that will improve your life in years to come. And that's what I did. I'm very pleased I did it. And if I ever moved, that's probably the first thing I'd do. Put solar panels on the roof, because I know that it works. All right. Let's have a look there. Where's Charlie? What time are you live tonight? Not on tonight, Charlie. No, I just do live in the mornings, Charlie. Okay. And say hello to Mum for me as well there. Andy used to listen to radio before started watching you. Andy has also sent in a photograph today. 1 or 2 photographs, I think. And Mike Reese-Ponto. So if you want to see those photographs, we'll check our likes number in a moment. And we'll see that. Peter says, when we get the G5 phone system, we'll all be sent to charge. What's G5? Oh, you mean 5G. Peter, you're showing your age now. 5G, dear. 5G. G5. All right, Peter, don't worry about it, mate. Okay, 19 likes on there, boys and girls. Let's show you these pictures, shall we, before we carry on? Got quite a few little news stories and things there to show you as well. First of all, let's have a look at this picture from the delightful Heidi Young. I've got a few little messages. Here we go. This is the living room view from Heidi's house. Look at that. Go on, how much is that view worth, boys and girls? That is worth an awful lot of money, don't you think? That is Heidi Young's view. How beautiful. Thank you, Heidi. And that's stunning. Feel free to comment. Heidi will be watching your comments there. You want that view outside your house, don't you? Huh? Now, the question is, Heidi, is that here or is that in Norway, my love? Not quite sure where that view is. Beautiful. Thank you, Heidi. All right, second picture coming in today is from Mike Reese-Ponto, who's been cooking. He's been cooking and he has made a lasagna. A lasagna. A lasagna. Oh, I say. Now, is that garlic bread there? Oh, garlic bread. It looks absolutely delicious. Look at that. Is it a dead animal lasagna or is it a vegetarian one? Are they lentils or chopped up bits of dead animals there, Mike? Do let us know. I must say, that looks absolutely delightful as well. I haven't made a lasagna for years. I must do it again there. And the garlic bread. Do you like garlic bread? Go on, have some garlic bread and then breathe in someone's face. Reminds me of that church hymn. Breathe on me, breath of God. As long as he hasn't had garlic first. Andy loves your view there, as Jason Hughes does. Rachel, Claire. Morning, Claire. She loves the view there. Christopher Woodhouse, beautiful view there. We showed your photo yesterday, Christopher. I was surprised at how nice your view is. I just thought you was like in looking out onto other flats or something. How wrong I was there. I look forward to an invite round to your house, Christopher. I do feel I've become quite close to you over this, as friends, of course, you know. Nice. Mandy Davenport loves your view as well. This is all new to Mandy because she looks out of her window, her and Mick, and all they see is burning out cars, you know, and people throwing firebombs at each other in Bristol. Dreadful place, dear. Absolutely ghastly. She'd do anything to get out of there, I think. Gavin likes that as well. Look at that. Michael wants to move in with you. No, don't let Michael move in with you. He just wants to play pool all the time. He'll insist you have a pool table put in there, Heidi. Yes, I thought it might be. It's in Norway. She's got a place in Norway. Heidi lives. It's in Norway. My little piece of paradise. Everywhere you've got is in paradise, Heidi. No need for you to go to heaven, my darling. Just stay where you are. Yes, my little piece of paradise in Norway. Very lucky to live right next to the Oslo fjord. Great fishing. Wonderful. Beautiful pictures there. Morning to John Paris. Mike Responto. The picture that Mike sent in is a vegetarian lasagna made with corn mince and garlic bread. Oh, Mike. I mean, that looks absolutely delicious. Unfortunately, I cannot give you the job of head of baking because that went last night to Mick Davenport. Mick Davenport has a brand new job. He is head of baking on this channel now. On this channel. Various people have got different jobs here. Okay. Good. Lodgers are welcome, says Heidi. Oh, there you go. She's trying to get rent out of you now. She's trying to get rent out, aren't you? Okay, let's do another picture. This one coming in from Mr. Mark Hobbs. Thank you, Mark. There you go. This is a picture of Mark playing the quiz last night. I don't look very happy there. I don't know why. And I'm quite trying to work out why he's got a sign underneath it saying Happy Easter. Bit late, aren't you? Or are you early for tomorrow? There's his answer sheet there, carefully working away. We had a nice laugh last night for the quiz, didn't we, eh? I enjoyed it last night. We did have a good laugh there. So quiz night every Tuesday, 8 o'clock. I don't know if it'll carry on when we no longer locked down, but we'll see what happens. You know, if we get a few more people playing, we might carry it on, but we'll see what happens. It's not going to disappear any time yet, all right? So quiz night every Tuesday at 8 o'clock if you want to advertise that for me, my darlings. Thank you very much for that, Mark. I did also have a photo sent in. I've forgotten to do that. Let me just write that down. Of course, there was so much to do, Ludo's picture of the Belushi's team. They're probably not here. They're not usually not here in the morning, our Belushi's team. They just they're generally here just for the quiz and the bingo. Yes, I'll put that on the system for you tomorrow, and there was a couple of pictures, including the one I just showed you, that I'll bring up on the next quiz night as well, because they're kind of related to the quiz. Do you see what I mean? All right. And finally, pictures from Andy. Andy have come in. This is the view from his flat. Thank you, Andy. And Andy sends in a little message there. Where is that now? Here we go. Hi, Chris. Just sending you a couple of pictures from what I see when I look out of my window as I live in a flat. I haven't a front door. These views greet me. I haven't a front door, but these views greet me every morning when I open my curtains. That's not a bad view as well, is it? Eh? Look at that. Look at that. I mean, why would you want to live anywhere else when you've got a view like that from his flat there? Gosh. What's that little green? What's in that green shed down there? Is that anything to do with you? We want to know what's in that green shed. Are you illegally growing, or are you illegally doing beer? Are you making your own beer or something like that? I love it. Great pictures today. Absolutely great pictures, I have to say. Really, really good pictures. So thank you, everyone, for sending those in. If you've got some pictures to send in, you know where to send them, boys and girls. Send them to that email address, videos, anything like that, or a video link. Terry did send in a video link of where he is in... Oh, I can't remember where he is now. Never mind. He's northeast somewhere, sort of halfway up the country, I think, somewhere like that. But I haven't downloaded that onto the system yet. I simply ran out of time this morning trying to get everything ready. It's either that or be late, and I'd rather be on early and miss something out, you know, there. Mark says he forgot to change it since Easter. Clearly. Clearly. All right. Just a reminder, texting number there, top left-hand corner. If you can't get to us on the text box, perhaps you're watching on a television or something like that and you don't have access to a typewriter, you can always text in a message. 07551 259 675 is the text number. It's not a phone line. You won't be able to call on that, I'm afraid. It doesn't ring. No one will ever answer that. It's just for text messages. 07551 259 675. And if you've never texted before... Okay, your name won't be in the system either. So you need to tell me who you are and where. Okay, not the exact address, obviously. I don't know, something like Chris Bracknell, whatever, Chris Bracknell, and then your message. Then we know who you are, and then I can sort of name you as well. Otherwise, people like to know who you are and all that. Andy says, I just love the countryside more than the seaside. I think me too, Andy. Actually, I think me too. I don't mind going to the seaside now and again. I'd like to have a little trip to the seaside soon, actually. I've got to Bracklesham Bay, where it's not built up there, and you won't need to go in the car park. You just park down another street somewhere, you know, and that works quite well. But I'd like to go to Bracklesham Bay, which is about 1 hour and 3/4, 2 hours drive from there, which would be nice. But yes, I'd rather live in the countryside than... I'd rather live, actually, in the middle of a forest. I almost do now, but there's a lot of houses, but in a little wooden shack on its own, hopefully with heating and high-speed internet, which kind of defeats the object of with nature, doesn't it, really? All right, thank you. Okay, good morning, Shania, just joining us there. Morning, Shania, head of the Catholic Church has arrived there. Mandy says you're mixing up my street with the next street up. Oh, sorry, are you in the posh bit? Mandy's in the posh bit. It's raining in Portsmouth. Oh, well, maybe we get that. The only thing is I've left my chairs outside, the ones I recently covered, so they might get all damp, might they, or something like that. Talking about countryside and nice places, of course, I'm very, very lucky to have a caravan. It's only an old one, you're 20 odd years old now. I don't know how old is your caravan, Heidi? Is yours older or younger than mine? My nephew was around. Oh, I've employed child labour now, boys and girls. Yep, I've got child labour now. I've employed child labour at my caravan. My nephew was round there yesterday, and I mentioned this on the show last night. And he was recharging my little camera that I've got on a pole up there, just to keep an eye on it as I'm on the end. And the children were around there. Great niece Eva and great nephew Harry were around there. And I said, where? He said, oh, Eva and Harry are outside doing your weeds, at which point they appeared, on the camera. I said, all right, are you supposed to be doing mine weeds? And they looked a bit bored. I think they'd got bored pulling the weeds out. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, I'll pay you to do it. Pull up all my weeds, because Gary had already told me there were quite a few weeds. And you know it is, as a child, bending up and down like that, pulling out weeds, it's no problem at all, is it? Morning to Gareth Loxton this morning, from the Welsh Valley. Morning, Gareth. Morning to you, sir, just texting in there. And these, as an older person, you pull up 3 weeds and think, oh, that's enough of that. Children won't worry about that. They carry on, but they looked a bit bored. I said, well, I'll pay you. How much do you want? And without even thinking, great niece Evie, who's 8, £10. £10? £10? God's sake, man. Well, how long were they going to be there? Hours? What's that, £10 for 10 minutes work? And then I said, well, go on then. I'll give you £10 each. Out they went. They couldn't get out that door quick enough. Dear me. So out went great niece Evie, 8. Great nephew Harry, 7. Out they were, pulling up those weeds. And now I have a weed free for just £20. Child labour. No doubt the social security people or whoever it is that runs these things. What's the name of that now? It changes every few years, doesn't it? someone in government will think, oh no, well, I need to justify my £10 million a year. We'll change the name of that. Is it like an agency now? They have agencies. Remember that word agency came in some time ago, didn't it? No longer did we have Social Security and health and all this business. They then became agencies, didn't they? Agencies. Huh? So soon, I know the child labour people, would they be on the phone now? I'm surprised the phone hasn't rung yet, to be honest. No phone call happening on there from the child people. Child labour I'm employing now, boys and girls. If you've got any children that are available, I also need the caravan needs to be washed. It needs to be washed because I didn't do it last year, and it's starting to show a little bit of green around the outside. And Sylvie, who is queen of, as Heidi will tell you, Sylvie is queen of all caravans everywhere in the world. We love Sylvie, as she will be knocking. Hello, Chris. I need to have a word with you about the green growing on your caravan. Well, I don't want any of that, my love. It needs to be cleaned. So I'll try and get the kids to clean the outside of the caravan as well now. I think with the toothbrush to get my money's worth. There's a piece of dust on there, Harry. I've got a soft brush there with a long pole. Which will do it, but I must get that done as well. Heidi, hers is only about 8 years old. Oh, that's new. That's new, isn't it? Heidi's caravan is about 8 years old. The last caravan was about 20 years old. I took all fixed furniture out and made a few quid on it. Then upgraded. My back patio is full of weeds. Oh, do you want me to send round the children? They're only £10 each. That's all you got to pay them, £10 each. Bargain, dear. Absolute bargain. I'm very pleased with that. Just give us your cap. You don't need to be there, Heidi. You can do a bank transfer to me and I'll pass it on. Minus, of course, a small subscription fee to me. So, and I can pass it on to the children. Just give us your caravan number. I'll contact my nephew and he'll send them round and it'll be clean as anything. They do a good job, my love. Why do it yourself? £10 each. Come on, Heidi. Spend some of that money, my love. You can't take it with you. People always say stuff like that to me. There's Mick Davenport. He's late. He was watching a better channel. Do us a favour and carry on watching it, actually, Mick. Oh, is it finished? What a shame. Give me the name of the person who owns the other channel, Mick, and I'll ask them to stay on longer next time so you don't have to come on here and bother us. Thank you very much. Heidi, was it elbow grease or star drops diluted in water? I know what that is. There we are. I know, Dave. Isn't it terrible? I'm now employing child labour. Dreadful. Dreadful. £10 each? Oh, dear. When I was a child, if I was ever handed £10, which was never, I'd be very happy with that. What you talking about? Good pay, that is. I bet that's more than you pay some of your presenters on that little tin pot radio station you're running. Oh, dear me. I bet you've got people in there you don't even pay. Am I wrong? Come on, tell me I'm wrong on that one. No. We can't. Oh, hello. Yes, it's Dave Moses here. Yeah, Calder Valley Radio. Can I help you? Yes. I'm afraid it's just voluntary positions that we've got at the moment. Yes. No. I pay them, dear. Voluntary. Dear me. Where's it all going, my love? John Parrish has had his John Parrish's caravan is about 20 years old, so roughly the same as mine. I think mine's probably a little bit older than yours, John, but they last forever. I've been told the older ones, such as the one you've got and the one I've got, are made better, which kind of does make sense. They're probably better metal than they are now. And I noticed, and of course, all my around the outside, what's that called? Cladding? Is it cladding around the outside? Mine's all metal. All the new ones are all plastic and they creak a bit, don't they? Bit like a badly oiled bed. That's right, Michael. No Central Station team in last night. They were getting drunk on someone's boat last night, actually. That's where they were. Because I had a word this morning. I was on that phone 7:30. I woke them up. Hello? Oh, who's that? It's Chris. Where were you last night? Oh, we've just woken up. And? What's your point? I've rung to talk to you. Andy was happy with a 10p lucky bag when he was younger. There we are, a 10p lucky bag. Liking the sound of that. All right. What else have we got? So, as I say, my tape hasn't arrived. I was told, on the subject of caravans, I was told that as we haven't been in the caravans for a long time, when you get there, you're supposed to boil a kettle or bleach or something like that and put it round the toilet because there could be listeria there. I don't know if anyone knows much about that. And this was on one of the static caravan groups. I know, John, you're on those as well, but it won't affect you because you've been there a long time. But this stuff can grow in plastic pipes, apparently, listeria. And you're supposed to put bleach around the toilet and flush it a few times, and also turn the boiler up as hot as it will go and literally run the taps for 2, 3, 4 minutes with the hottest water you can get coming through them to kill anything off. I don't know if you know or anyone else indeed knows anything about that. Perhaps you, Heidi, maybe something like that. I'm gonna. It's a cycle day today. I did my 1.75 hour walk yesterday, as I say, getting lost in the forest. I'm going to do a cycle day going to Danton Little. I've got no blueberries and no apples. I've run out of fruit. Very important to have fruit. Charlie, are you still with us? Do you have fruit? No Mars bars and bars of chocolate. Fruit, Charlie, fruit. Apples, bananas, oranges, blueberries. Yum, yum. So I must get some blueberries today and some apples because I've run out of those. As I say, it's very grey outside. Some of us might get some rain today. Mike Responto's already got some rain down in Portsmouth there. It says temperatures are just expected to drop as low as 10 degrees after days of hot weather around the UK. Sun seekers basking in highs of 28 centigrade. This is in today's Daily Mirror. Are for a period of cooler weather coming in. Some places will see heavy rain. And quite frankly, I hope I will see some heavy rain because it's as dry as a bone. Not my garden, because I go around and water all the shrubs. The lawn is very, very brown at the moment. I'm waiting for a new sprinkler to arrive at the moment, and it hasn't got here yet, unfortunately. So I'm hoping that will come at some point. Thank you to Steve, who sent in a little picture there. Steve, I'll show that tomorrow. I can't put it straight on the system, okay? Peter says I've got listeria growing in the garden. Have you? Yep, so some rain to come. Talking of people growing things, this woman, there's a story today in the Metro, which is quite amusing. A mother who was caught with cannabis. Is this same as your garden, Peter? I hope not. I shall report you. I can't stand the smell of that stuff. Kids are walking around here smoking this stuff. Seriously. Was it yesterday or the night before, I think? I went out. No, I was on my walk and I came back another way, which involved going under an underpass, right? And I was, I don't know, a long way from the underpass. And you get that smell, that disgusting smell of marijuana, whatever it is. Marijuana, innit? Oh, that smell. And I can smell it a mile off. Awful smell. And then coming up to this underpass, and it's getting strong, and I thought, okay, there's some people under there smoking that stuff. And as I come round the corner, sure enough, there they are. 4 lads, about 16 to 19. They were no older than that. And they see me coming, and they quickly, I mean, they're just thick. They quickly put their cigarette thing behind their backs. Like, you know, completely oblivious to the stink that it's putting out. I don't care what you look like. Why do I have to breathe this blooming stuff in? And as I'm going past, you know, they got the hoods are up. It's 80 degrees outside. They got the puffer jackets on and the hoods are up. Aren't they funny? Aren't they funny, teenagers? And they think that you don't know. If you've got children, you'll know exactly where I'm coming from here. The hood's right. So I've gone past them. I said, it's all right, lads. I can't see it, but I can blooming well smell it. And they kind of look up like that. You know, they keep their heads down. They look up like that. And one of them smiled. Like I'm going to ring up the police. I don't think so. None of my business. And off I went. Fortunately, the wind was blowing that way. So that's what's happened. It was blowing it towards me. As soon as I'd gone past them, because the wind's coming that way, I couldn't smell it anymore. I can't bear that smell. It's horrible stuff. Or how can anyone breathe that down? Bad enough, normal cigarettes. Anyway, this woman in the metro, a mother was caught with a cannabis farm at her home and tried to throw the police off the scent by saying it was the noise of her sunbed. Now, I've only ever been on a sunbed once. Never again. It was horrible. It felt so unnatural. This is about 30 years ago now. They weren't too up on the old skin cancer at that point. Now, I think they're quite dangerous things to be on. I'm sure some of the Sun people would tell you that the new tubes are not dangerous or not as dangerous as the old ones, but I wouldn't get on one. But I laid on this thing, turned it on, and for about 10 seconds it's nice and warm. Then you start sweating, you know, and you're laying on these pieces of plastic. Oh, it's horrible. Horrible. But I'm not aware that it made a noise. I can't remember. Anyway, according to this story, police officers went to this woman's house in Salford in Manchester. That's a raffle place up there. Why the BBC ever moved there, I don't know. What a ridiculous idea. They had that beautiful television centre in the middle in West London, and they moved. Where they moved? Manchester. So it's not London-centric. Who comes out with all this crap? Anyway, they moved to Salford. Officers went to her home in Salford looking for a wanted man for an unrelated matter, but then they heard a humming noise. Can you do a humming noise? Oh no, my Tourette's now. They heard a humming noise coming from the first floor bedroom. That could have been anything, couldn't it, ladies? What gadget could you accidentally leave on the floor, buzzing away? The humming noise from the bedroom, which Emma claimed was her daughter using... Oh, thank God for that. The tanning machine. A court heard this week. I wonder where that was going then, that story. Led by their noses. See, they can smell this stuff. It's horrible. Do the plants smell? As a matter of interest, does anyone know that? Do the cannabis marijuana plants smell like that as well? Or is it just when it's smoked? When it's set light to? Led by their noses, the police officers thought they could smell marijuana, so they went into the bedroom where they found 20 plants of skunk growing in the bedroom. It don't say anything about marijuana though. Is one the same as the other, or are they different things? I don't know. The humming noise was the electrical hydroponic equipment. It sounds like it's something to do with water, doesn't it? Hydro is water, isn't it? That was being used to help the crop, worth £16,500. We're in the wrong job here. Oh, that's it. I'm going to dig up all my plants. I'm going to dig up all my flowers and grow this stuff. Front and back. See how the neighbours like that. My lovely neighbour Dave and Karen, they'll be out there with the binoculars. What's he growing out? It's just tomato plants. I know the leaves are similar to tomato plants, aren't they? I can't grow tomato plants. I kept getting blight on them. Yeah. Oh, talking of which, I had to throw away a bag of potatoes yesterday. I've never had to do that. I hate throwing food away. Yeah. So there's a smell in it. What's that smell in my cupboard? Anyway, I'm looking around and I noticed there was some white stuff on one of the potatoes. Anyway, I picked the bag up and they were all like it. They all looked like they were sweating some sort of white stuff out of them. And I rang up my mate. He said they've gone rotten from the inside out. And I opened the bag and there's this white slimy stuff in there. Horrible. And it stank. I've never ever had a bag of potatoes go off. Now, I'm not sure whether they came from Lidl or Aldi. One of those two. Anyone had the potatoes go off before? I've had them, start growing. These weren't growing. They were oozing some sort of white stuff coming out of them. Horrible. And they weren't the cheap ones. You know, these were like a brand, I don't know, like a Maris Piper or something like that. Anyone had potatoes go rotten before? Never had that before. Chuck a whole bag of potatoes away. Cost me about £1. The woman claimed the drugs were for her own medicinal use. But I doubt you're still allowed to grow them for yourself, are you? It's illegal to grow these things, isn't it? but they were for her own medicinal use, but later insisted it was set up because she owed money to her ex-boyfriend who was in prison. Well, she won't have to pay him then, will she? And this raid was in 2018, apparently, not charged with offences. In a statement, she says, I was put under pressure to allow others to set up and farm at my house. What does she mean, farm? Oh, I see, yeah. Farm at my house due to debts I owed to my former partner, who was in prison at the time. I was not responsible for taking care of the plants, and I was not... Well, they're in your house, though, aren't they? How can you say that? You're not responsible for taking care of the plants when they're sitting in your house. Dear me. And the prosecutor said she appears to fall within a lesser role, and there was some pressure or something like that on her. The defendant is clearly a vulnerable woman. She's a single parent looking after 2 children. She's unfortunate. So he took a sort of, a sort of more soft approach there, which I think judges are very good at that. They can see. That's why we have judges. They're allowed to do something like that. And I'm on their side with that, really, I think, really. You've got to look at someone's whole situation, I think, sometimes, before you make a judgment on them. You know what I mean? And do it like that. Thank you, Mandy. Marijuana, cannabis and weed are all the same thing. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they were different things. Okay. Thank you for that. Morning to Peter Wright this morning. Hello to you. Sean Pye in the house there. Good morning to Sean. Rachel's not liking the sound of the white stuff oozing out of the potatoes. I don't know what it was. Peter says you can grow tobacco legally. It's against the law to sell it. Can you grow your own tobacco? How many plants do you have? Is it like quite a lot that you'd have to grow to, I don't know, make a packet of 20 cigarettes? I don't know. Andy roars with laughter when you go into your Tourette's mode. It kills me every time. I'm offended by that, Andy, actually. I think it's a terrible thing to take the mick out of someone's disability like that. I'm disappointed, Andy, to be honest. Very, 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 very disappointed. Very disappointed. I can't help myself. Morning to Yvonne Lemon. We need to stop the show now. We need to stop the show. Yvonne Lemon has appeared. At last she's managed to get up. Congratulations, Yvonne. We've only been here an hour, love. Oh dear. But I do my research. You see, I do research. BBC. I'm a BBC person now, as you know, from my 2-minute interview on BBC Look North back in January. I haven't heard from them since, but I'm hopeful. Well, the important thing is, today is Yvonne Lemon's birthday. Now, as you know, we do the birthdays at the end of the show. However, if it's your birthday and you're with us live, you get preferential treatment. Ow! I can't believe that. He's giving someone preferential treatment. I want preferential treatment as well. I'm not fair. Oh, I can't cope. I've got my anxiety. Well, today's preferential treatment is for the delightful Yvonne Lemon. Happy birthday, Yvonne. You get your song sung just for you, my darling. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Yvonne. Happy birthday to you. All right? Making Yvonne feel a little bit special today, my love. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Sorry? Is there another birthday today? James Humble, is that right? How old are you today then, James? How old are you today? So we do it for James as well then? You better not be lying, James. Are you lying or is it really your birthday? And if so, how old are you? Tell me and I might sing to you. John Aitken, good morning, John. You smell a lot of weed in Shepherd's Bush. Oh, I know that, John. And you can be driving in the car. They're smoking it in the cars around there. It comes in your car as you're driving along, and you know there's someone up ahead smoking it in the car, fag out the window. Well, whatever it is. Roll up, what are they called? Roll up. Roll ups. And they're smoking it out the car, this stuff. No one to stop them. I'm smoke. Oh, it's a spliff. Who says it's a spliff? Mandy Davenport. Funny how she knows all about this stuff, isn't it, Mandy? You seem to know all about these drugs, darling. Have you injected yourself this morning with another ounce of heroin or whatever it is they put in themselves? Oh, how can people inject themselves? If you're a diabetic, my heart goes out to you, because you have to, don't you? I mean, really. Dreadful. John's been doing his exercises, which means he's got up and made a cup of tea and had breakfast. I had a nice breakfast this morning. I had apricot Wheaties from Aldi. Nice. Little wheat things with apricot paste in the middle. Very nice indeed. Morning to Alan Wainwright. Hello to you. Charlie Ray, we do. I've got blueberries. All we have is blueberries. Oh, you need apples as well, Charlie. Apples. But if they hurt your teeth, cut them up first. Get Mum to cut them up, all right? Apples. Apples. We like apples. Jason has 5 apples a day. Does 5 pints of cider count? No, it doesn't, you drunkard. Oh, Christopher says it's a joint. You see, all these people know all about these smoking things. Dreadful. Don't touch them, kids. Very bad for you. Okay, there you go. Let's just... Where's young James? Is he still there? James? No, has he gone? I don't know. You could say your potatoes have reached their peak, says David. Yeah, unlike you, Dave. When do you think you'll ever reach your peak, my love? You've been trying for so long now, haven't you? Me too, Dave. I think I'm stuck on YouTube with just a handful of viewers for the rest of my life. The numbers are never going to go up, are they? Let's be honest. That's just how it is. But you see, once you accept that, you're happy. You can't be chasing these numbers all the time. It's just madness. Oh, Mick's sciatica is playing up today. Oh, sorry about that, Mick. Must have been all the beatings. No, not enough beatings for you, my friend. Mandy. Beatings for Mick. What you want, Mick? You want to go over to Thailand or somewhere like that and get some young people to run up and down your back. £50 each. That'll soon put it right. Let's just scroll up there. Okay. So we've done the birthdays. I can't see James, so maybe it's not his birthday after all. Alrighty, let's carry on with these stories then. So that's that woman there. In the Daily Mirror this morning, a mum has shared a parenting hack, but it's gone a bit wrong. You know, it is with children, especially during this lockdown. We seem to be coming out of this now. The numbers certainly seem to be on the way down now, so fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But don't be complacent. Everything you've been doing, it is my suggestion to you, everything you've been doing over the last few weeks, right? Carry on doing it. Don't become complacent. That's when you trip up. Don't become complacent, all right? In the Daily Mirror today, a mum thought she'd devised the perfect parenting hack to keep her children entertained while she quickly discovered a flaw in her method. This lady, who's a teaching assistant, dressed her 2 children in their swimming costumes and popped them into an empty bath with some paper and water-based paints. So the mess was contained in one area. Genius. Or so she thought. So you'd think, put some children in the bath, they'll play around with their paints, probably paint in the bath, water-based paint, fairly easy to get rid of it once they've gone. But she had tested the idea a number of times in the past and it worked a treat until she had to pop out of the room to go on one of those Zoom meetings. After 15 minutes, Donna returned to find her children covered head to toe, along with the walls, the bath, and basically anything in reach in green paint. Everything was covered in green paint. Turns out she'd accidentally left an entire bottle of paint on the side, and it didn't take long for her eagle-eyed tots to get their hands on it. After numerous showers and a thorough scrub of the bath, Donna and her plasterer husband found the entire ordeal hilarious. So I'm glad they saw the funny side of it. Donna laughed. The children are usually quite well behaved. They've done things in the past like draw on the walls, but this is a new level. She's even washed Isaac's hair in her paint. The two children washing each other's hair in paint. They were covered in it and their skin had a green tinge for a couple of days. There's a picture. These kids, what a mess. What an absolute mess. But they look as happy as anything. When I was in Cyprus, great nephew James, he's the younger one. He's 3 now. And him and George, who was 7 at the time, he's 8 now, I think. And Emily, she's 7. They went out. They've got a garden there. They went out there. They come back. All their faces were black. And their hands. What have you been doing? So we went round. They're digging a hole, looking for treasure. What makes children think that if they dig a hole, they're going to find treasure? I suppose they see people going around doing it on the telly and in films and things like that, don't they? Some of the Disney films. I might try it myself later. I think I'll go over the forest, get a stick and dig up. Of course, but they don't seem to keep the dirt on the floor. It's all over the faces and everywhere. And my niece says, Chris, look. There they are. These 3 children with half black faces, mainly all round their mouths. How's it all round their mouths? Do they try and eat the mud? Or something like that. I think great nephew George, he said he was looking for snakes. Digging with this. What was it they had out there? They had spoons from the kitchen. They're digging down near the manhole it was. If they dig down far enough, they would have got a bit of poo up, wouldn't they? How awful. So possibly not the right thing to do with your children. Fill your bath up with paint and put them in there. You'll have a lot of mess. Unless, of course, you like cleaning. That'll give you something to do for a few hours, won't it, eh? Clean up the bath like that, I suppose. Don't forget tomorrow's show. We got the Super Chatters raffle tomorrow. Those of you that have been tipping all week, all your tickets are standing by in the jar over there for the Super Chatters raffle. This week's prizes, we've got the bunting, which I've taken down there. The bunting, 7 little flag type things. And they're actually like little bags, actually, but they don't open at the top. 7 little flags on there, okay, on a long string. We've got one of our brand new pens there, okay. We've got the Super Chatters badge, and we've got a Frey Bentos steak and kidney pie. Okay, that's the Super Chatter raffle tomorrow morning. Those of you that have been sending tips, every time you send a £1 tip on the Super Chats, then I've been giving you a free raffle ticket, as you know. So make sure you're here for that tomorrow. If you can't, as I say, if you can't be here for that tomorrow, that's okay. If you can't be with us live, just watch the recording back of the show later on. And it'll let you know whether or not you've won. I do read out the name and the number on the Super Chatters raffle. Okay, so that's tomorrow morning. Rachel says she used to love making mud pies. I hope you didn't eat them, Rachel. Dear me, that's why there's so many people going around with black teeth. They try to eat the mud pies. John says it's nearly pill time. Another 4 minutes, John. Shall I have them now? John keeps an eye on the pills, don't you? Adam, when I was young... Well, that was a long time ago, wasn't it, Adam? Eh? When I was young, I tried digging at my mum's back garden because I wanted to go to Australia. I thought that was the way to go. A lot of people think they can do that, can't they? Digging down to Australia. You have to go a long way. Oh, that pill's just scraped the back down my throat. Oh. Oh, that's scraped down my throat. That is. Oh, Colin has just sent a two. I wasn't asking for something. Well, thank you, Colin. There you are. Colin sent a £2 super chat there. Thank you very much, Colin. Let me give you 2 free raffle tickets. And you can be in the Super Chatters raffle tomorrow. You might win the prizes. All happens here live. Colin K. Thank you, Colin. 2 raffle tickets there for Colin for tomorrow. 4:05 and 4:06 there. Thank you, Colin. All right. Put those there. I don't usually mention it, but if you can't get the Super Chatters thing, you can do PayPal if you want to. Okay, that's my PayPal there. All right. And I do get an email every time someone does a PayPal. which isn't very often, but I do get an email and a little message comes up to tell me that it's happened, so I will know about that. So if you ever want to do it by PayPal, you can do it that way as well there. Michael Lawrence wants to couple as well. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. There we are, 407 and 408 for you. 2 free raffle tickets for you, Michael. 408, Michael Lawrence. And 407 for Mr. Michael Lawrence. Thank you. There you are. All right, 407, 408 there. Thank you for the tip. Okay, in they go. Well, who's going to win this week? It's very exciting. Oh, Rachel as well. Well, I don't. It's very kind of you. I don't mention this thing. I try to mention everything that we normally do of the show in case there's new people there. You know, that's why I do that. Sometimes people say, I think it was Heidi, not Heidi Young, the other Heidi. Where's Heidi gone? I haven't seen her for a while. Heidi Oliver. She's disappeared, hasn't she? Maybe she got fed up with the show. I would do. I couldn't sit here watching this rubbish every morning. Mind you, I'm quite happy to see Naga Monchetti every morning. See who she's upset this week. Here we are. Let's do these raffle tickets for you there. 4 free raffle tickets for Rachel this morning. Thank you, Rachel. There you are, darling. All right. 4 free raffle tickets. There we go. Incidentally, the pens, okay, the pens are... There we are. These pens are also bingo prizes, okay? That's for our bingo on Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Let's just scroll up a little bit there. Excuse me. Done my pills, done that. Fran. Peter, there are 2 snakes in Cyprus, a black and a brown. One is very dangerous. Oh, they probably know that already. Yeah, dangerous snakes. I don't like dangerous snakes. John, thank you very much. What an excellent idea coming in there from Mr. Jason Hughes. John Aitken. Let me just check. John hasn't got a job already. I'm going to have to type these out, I think. On an old type. Remember the old typewriters? John Aitken, head of drugs. No, head of medication. John Aitken is now head of medication. Thank you. Medication. Ooh, medication. Ooh, medication. That's what I need. If you want to be the best. If you want to beat the rest. Oh, dedication. Medication's what you need. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. Okay, John Aitken, you've got a new job. Head of medication. Are you happy with that, sir? Be happy. Be happy. Yvonne hates jealousy. Yeah, me too, Yvonne. Me too. Sing up, Chris. Oh, sing up. Sing louder. Sing, sing, sing to the angels. There's a Christmas song there. Rachel wants a Manilow song. I can't see anything mentioned in the Manilow song there. She's bought me a cup of tea as well. Look at that. Can you see the little cup of tea on the Super Chat sticker? You can only see that if you're on the chat box there. By the way, hello to our silent viewers as well this evening, sitting there, or this morning, sitting there quietly, hopefully enjoying the show as much as I am. All right. The tickets go in the TRU. That is the Ticket Retention Unit. Absolutely, Mike Responto. Mike Responto. The Ticket Retention Unit. That's exactly what that is. Can I have a song, please? Rachel now wants a song. Are you sure? Can you write my name on all the Super Chat tickets? What tickets is remaining? 413 to 1,000. Do you want all those? 600 and no. 506, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. It's about £560 super chat there. I'll tell you what, make it a £500 super chat and you can have all these tickets. Buy 500, get 50 free. There you go. Cha! Dear, I'm like a supermarket here. Supermarket sweep. Next time you hear the beep, 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 you're on supermarket sweep. Ba 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 ba. Da 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 da. Check it out. Check it out with the wonderful Dale Winton, and that Ryland bloke does it now. I know some of you like Ryland. I'm not a fan myself. But there we go. Morning to George Bond. Amelia's not telling me what to watch. Don't know what that means, George. Try that again, my darling. Peter Paliwoda, employ me. I want a title. I'm afraid it just comes to me usually, Peter. I don't think about these things. I might be doing something later, possibly having a walk or doing my cooking, or maybe in your case, I might be standing in the toilet or sitting on the toilet having a poo, and it has suddenly come to me. Your job. It might come today. It might come in 6 weeks' time. I never know. But I can't think about it because then it doesn't work. It literally has to drop into my head. 587 tickets left in the book. Oh, maybe. Oh, actually, that would be too many to give free then. I think I'm going to have to change that. It's a good job you haven't sent the money yet, Peter. Peter, for a £550 tip, I'll give you 37 tickets as well. There you go. You can have the whole. But who wants to buy the book? 530. What did I say? £550 super chat tip, and I'll give you this book for nothing. The whole lot. Can you imagine all the other people? They'd be so upset with that. They'd be very, very angry. There would be little angry faces. Little angry faces. Even more than there is normally. There he is. James Humble's got an Apple Watch for his birthday. When's your birthday then, James? When's that? And how old will you be? An Apple Watch? You must have very rich parents. I can only ever dream of having such a thing. Look, no watch. Can't afford one. I have one here. Here's a watch broken. This is from my mum and dad. Oh, yes. It says on there. To Christopher from mum and dad. I can't remember what year that was. And that sits there because I miss my mum and dad. Oh, maybe I get that repaired. Is it a battery or what? I don't know. I think it's a battery thing. I'd have to have it taken up. I bet the batteries, but do these batteries leak in there? I should get that fixed, shouldn't I think. James Humble is 15. You're 15 years old today, are you? I'm sure you told us you were 16 at some point, James. Or are you 16 so that you can get a TikTok account? Are you telling lies? Come on, James, how old are you and when is your birthday? Is it today? Dave Moses, could I be head of sarcasm? Look, there's people begging for jobs now, darling. Begging, dear. Begging. No, it'll drop into my head at some point, Dave. Yours will probably come quicker to me, Dave. Amelia's not letting George watch this morning. Well, what do you want me to do about it? Come round there and tell her. You have to sort out your own little private difficulties. Don't involve me in your rows. Oh, Rachel, what are the tears for? What's happened, Rachel? Oh, have you got some sad news, Rachel? I hope not. Or is that, I don't know what, you have to explain that, Rachel, because we don't know why those tears are there. I don't like to see Rachel crying. You're normally a happy person, darling. Happy person. Happy person. Peter was happy to get you're 15 today, are you? Are you promise? All right, James. Let's wish James a happy birthday and his new Apple Watch. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear James. Happy birthday to you. All right, sir. Happy birthday. 15 with his new Apple Watch. Don't tell me you're watching me. Can you watch me on an Apple Watch? Wow. Can you do that? Or doesn't it do that? Can you watch YouTube on an Apple Watch? Oh, that would do my head in. It's bad enough looking at a phone screen like that, isn't it? You know, sometimes if I'm having lunch in the garden, which I've been doing all the time, actually, in this beautiful weather at the moment, I'll have the BBC News on here. But I can only watch it for some time, and then my eyes get fed up trying to see the thing there. Thank you, Rachel, for my mum and dad. Yes, I do miss my mum and dad an awful lot. I walk around the house talking to them, you know. Oh, yes. Yes, I do. Can't turn the clock back, can we? That's how it is. Good. Right, let's do another couple of stories. McDonald's stories here for you, boys and girls. James, yeah, I should think the screen is too small to watch anything like that on. Right, couple of stories then. Daily Mirror, 2 McDonald's stories for you. We're a bit of a fan of McDonald's on here. We always do McDonald's stories, don't we? We do. I'm not a massive McDonald's eater. I probably visit a McDonald's about 3 times a year. That's it. Really. I don't think there's anything wrong with their stuff in moderation. If you live in there, then you're going to have a problem. If you're there morning, noon and night, you're going to have some sort of weight issue or something like that. I nearly answered one of my negative TikTok comments yesterday. I nearly offered. I can't remember what the comment was, but I saw a picture of them, and I wanted to text. All I'm going to say is this: I wanted to put the reply to the negative comment something like, "Are you writing this from a McDonald's?" I don't need to say anymore, do I? But I thought, no, I'll just block them. So I just blocked them. I try and talk to people in the same tone that they talk to me, you see. If they're nice, I'll talk back nice. If they're stupid, I'll talk back stupid. If they're horrible, I'll be horrible back. You know. Just bear that in mind when you put your comments on there. You may have sometimes, some people might make a comment and I'll come back with something 10 times worse. And they get upset then. Well, why did you write the comment then? If you didn't want to reply, you know? It's funny, actually, over the years, when I was a DJ, people would send you music. And you'd fill out a form and you'd say what you thought of that piece of music. And they ask you to be honest. And there was a couple of times where a couple of friends of mine were doing music type things and they had records out and things like that. And the form would come and I would fill it in and tell them what I thought. That's what you asked me to do. And then you get like a message or something. Can't believe that you didn't like our song or whatever it was. We've been friends for years and all this business. Well, if you didn't want an honest answer, why did you send it to me then? Why did you send it? Because I will never volunteer information. It's a bit like at the karaoke. I would never ever come over to someone who has been the worst singer I've ever heard in my entire life and say to them, please, you're the worst singer I've ever seen. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I just move on. We just carry on. But if you come up to me and say, what did you think of my song? Well, it was all right, you know. You know you're a karaoke singer, the same as me. We're not professional singers. Yeah, you're a karaoke singer, you know that. Yeah, but what do you really, really think? Do you think I've got a chance? Well, I mean, do you want to know? Are you sure? And then I'll tell them, look, well, and I still wouldn't be nasty. Like Cowell and the governors are on X Factor. I don't like that. I don't like nastiness like that on people's talent. Because it doesn't matter how bad they are, they think they're really good. And it might be their life. They might be the worst singer in the world. But the highlight of their week is to turn up at a karaoke night. Why would you crush that dream then? But what you've got to tell them is, yep, you're a karaoke singer, and no, you're not going to be a pop singer. That being said, there's some pop singers out there who can't sing a blooming note. I know that because some of my mates remix their blooming songs. Told you about the, I've never mentioned the name to you, and I don't dare. There's one particular singer who sent the vocals for the music was sent to my mate who was remixing, and it was a very big hit, actually. It was a big hit. Every single note they sang on the audio that they sent in was badly out of tune. It's how you're picked up by various people. Anyway, let's go to this story here. McDonald's offerings around the world, from chocolate fries to spaghetti bolognese. Oh, yes, it says most of us know why the McDonald's menu off by heart. You know, Big Mac and things like that. And very rarely even bother looking up the screens before we place our order. But as soon as you jump on a plane and head to a different country, you're presented with a whole selection of new options to choose from. While the restaurants themselves look pretty much the same wherever you go, the food you can eat there is very, very different. Some countries have some items we're very, very jealous of and would happily campaign to have them added to the UK menus. Others are slightly odd, and over the years, we've had different things appear in McDonald's. You remember the pizzas? The McDonald's pizzas that are very small compared to, like, I don't know, a Pizza Hut or a Pizza Hut or a Domino's. You know, this pizza comes in a box like that, doesn't it? 5 people have to carry it in. You go McDonald's, I think it was a Mc pizza. It was like this. It was no bigger than the Fray Bentos steak and gravy pie that someone's going to win tomorrow on the Super Chatter raffle. There's McSpaghetti. Oh yes, McSpaghetti. McDonald's spaghetti bolognese that appears to be actually served in a bowl. Is served to customers in the Philippines. Perhaps John Parrish would know about this. Served to customers in the Philippines. And while we can't imagine why you order the classic Italian dish in a fast food burger restaurant, it's apparently a big hit. It's often served with a bit of fried chicken on the side. Okay. There's the chicken curry breakfast burger. Where can you get this? Forget the McMuffin. If you pop into McDonald's in Singapore before 10 o'clock in the morning, you can get your hands on one of these morning meals. Yep, that's a chicken curry burger for breakfast. Looks quite nice. The Camembert donuts. Camembert donuts. Germany is just showing off a bit here. That's what you can get in Germany. We're very jealous of the delicious side dish, which is served with a cranberry sauce dip pot. Each serving contains 6 of the deep fried treat. Delicious. That's the Camembert donuts. Wow. How about a roasted sesame ebi burger? Now, what's that? We've tried the fillet of fish, but Japan has a shrimp burger. These are all at McDonald's. The online description says, joyful flavours are made of these. Bite into the new roasted sesame ebi burger for a taste of juicy shrimp in a light, crunchy patty topped with roasted sesame mayonnaise that's sure to cheer up your appetite. Are any of these appealing to you at all? Perhaps you've been somewhere else in the world and found something in McDonald's. Oh, that's unusual. Sausage and egg twisty pasta. At McDonald's Food Goes, this could be, in our opinion, one of the weirdest. The meal is served in Hong Kong, and they also do a version with grilled chicken. Wow. It's pretty much what it says, pasta in a broth with a fresh farm egg and a thick slice of ham. While it's popular with diners, we're not sure how well it would go down in the UK. I don't like the look of it, to be honest. Sausage and egg twisty pasta. It's not doing it for me, that. I mean, it's a bowl surrounded by pasta, a few vegetables in there, very good for you, and a thing on top there. And I don't know about that. Here's the weird one. These Ikasumi burger. This is in the Daily Mirror this morning. This interesting looking burger was a Halloween special in Japan, and the burger looks grey. The roll, the bun looks grey. It says the Ikasumi burger, which means squid ink, is served in a black bun with 2 beef patties, cheese, and fried onions. Okay. What about the creamy herb chicken pie? This tasty treat is also on sale in Singapore. One reviewer wrote, trying the first ever savoury creamy herb chicken pie from McDonald's, which is only £1, and it's the same shape as the apple pies, you know, like that long thing with this stuff in it there. It says the typical crusty and crackling fried shell is replaced with a flakier spiral crust. It's stuffed with a creamy filling of potatoes, onions, mushrooms and carrots. I'm sure Mick Davenport, who is head of baking on this channel, would make better things than this, to be honest. And it goes on. There's quite a few. How many more have we got of these? 2? Oh, we'll do the other 2. The scrambled egg burger. Well, nothing unusual about that. But it says here, you might want to jump on a plane. Again, Singapore seems to be the place for all these things. Try the scrambled egg burger in Singapore. It says, and nothing quite like a soft and fluffy scrambled egg burger morning to remind you of home. Be sure to make your way before it makes its way out. Oh, dear. And finally, the McChocolate potato. Wait till you hear this one. This is the weirdest one, I think. Can you not choose between sweet and savoury, it says in the story? Don't worry, Japan has the answer. With this questionable offering, yep, they are chips. covered in chocolate sauce. Oh, I don't know about that. It's white and milk chocolate, cover in all bases. So if you fancy any of those, or would you rather just stick to your Big Mac? Don't know what you think of that lot. Really? You might want to think about that, really. Very, very strange, dear. Very strange there. Yvonne's 53 today. She's drinking her tea, opening lovely, and all my birthday cards and messages on Facebook to everyone. So there you go, Yvonne. Happy birthday to you. McDonald's in Spalding opens today. A lot of the driving ones are open. We've got another McDonald's story coming up there. Daniel says if that's McDonald's stuff is from Germany, do you get a free pool seat with towel hanging over it? Get out there early, Daniel, if you want one of those seats. Adrian, it's like prawns toast just didn't take. I don't like prawns. I don't like that. Pulling off the legs of people's prawns or something like that. Peter, Germany sausage and lager breakfast service now. There we are. Peter, don't you ever spare someone's feelings, Chris? What? As in what? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by that. I think if it's some of the stuff I say, Peter, if you know me, then you'll know that most of the stuff I said should be taken light heart. And if you are offended, I don't see that as my problem. I think that's it. There's too many people out there looking for offence all the time and trying to spot things that make themselves unhappy. That's up to them. I try and look at a very bright side on life with everything that I do. And I see humour in most things. Most things. You know, if my dear, dear friend who I miss, I'll keep mentioning on here, I know, non-Irish Mary in Ireland, last year she died from cancer. She had it for a year, and to the day she died, she was joking about it. Now, if she can do that, there you go. So if you ever see something that's not there, that's not my... All these people that are out there, screaming and shouting on the telly all the time, that they're offended by this, that and the other, which has got worse and worse over the years, that's their problem, not mine. Not mine. We never had this in the 80s and the 90s. You know, everyone looked at everything. Quite happily watch, what's his name now? People like Stan Boardman and who's the other mouthy one? He did the general, Jim Davidson. People like that. I quite happily sit there and listen to them, what some would accuse the loony left of being homophobic jokes. No, they're not. They're not against people. They're just jokes. And I will sit there and laugh at them. Laugh at them. Other people won't. They take offence. Well, they've got some sort of problem then. They want to take a lighter attitude of life. Adrian used to work at strip clubs. Oh, not as a stripper, Adrian. I hope not, dear. Oh, my God. You with your clothes off. Oh. I feel ill. I worked at strip clubs. A lot of dancers asked me, what do I look like? I had a bad habit of being brutally honest, but kind of some of them hated it. I'm sure they did. Head of hair, says Dave Moses. Oh, no, David. No, Dave. There'd be something far more important than just head of hair for you, my darling. It'd be nice if I had one, actually, but there we go. It's gone. Jason likes a Greg's a day. I'm with you on that, Jason. A nice little vegan sausage roll would be nice. There was a poster someone advertised on Facebook. I think it was to do with the race thing going on at the moment, like that. And it was in Brighton. Let me see if I can find it. It's the weirdest thing. It's my friend's name. What's her name? I'm losing names out of my head for some reason recently. I'm forgetting what people's names are. Got it. That's it. Let's read this. Dawn Thorpe. You know, and people, they have the organisations that they support and those that haven't. Am I going to find this? Oh, Christ, she puts a lot of things on there. Is it there? Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. It's the weird thing. And you get the point. It's the Black Lives Matter, some protest going on there, which is great, in Brighton. And on the poster as well, it says, stay at home if you have COVID symptoms, wear protective masks, non-identifiable clothes, and then it says, bring plant-based snacks and water. So there's quite a lot going on there. Which one do you want to choose? Perhaps they're trying to include everyone there. I don't know. Gosh. Very unusual poster. Usually you'll get a poster of some sort of organisation that wants to be supported. But there's like lots of different things on there. What if you want to go and support the Black Lives Matter thing, but you want to go with a hot dog? Or a full roast dinner, something like that, anything like that. Does that mean you're not allowed to attend? It's weird, isn't it? Don't make any sense there. Don't make sense at all. Adrian says, I'm offended you've been too nice to me at the moment. No, I'm not, Adrian. Really, I'm not. I mean, please don't take those clothes off, for Christ's sake, man. Dear me. Fran has got... She's getting hungry now. She's dreaming about cheese straws. Rivita Fruit Crunch. What cheese straws sound very nice. They do. There you go. Heidi's wishing you a happy birthday as well there, Heidi. All right. Peter, can you be head of heckling? I don't think so. You're not very good at it, Peter. You're not very good at heckling, to be honest, Peter. If you were, I'd take more notice of what you're writing up there, my love. You know, you will find the more messages you send, the less get read out, because they just get missed. There's so many coming down. It's difficult to explain. I could have the messages up on the screen. I think that's pretty pointless. I've seen that before. And all people are doing is just endless messages going up and down. If you saw how quickly it moved, you'd understand, but people don't understand. And people take offence of not having a message sent out often. They might be writing 200 messages. You'll read out 150 of them, and then they'll be upset because 50 weren't read out. Well, we haven't got time to do that. We'll be here all day. Not that that would be a problem for Rachel, would it, my love? All right, Rachel. Good. Right, here's the other McDonald's story then, boys and girls. Return of the Mac. Over a this will be... Now, who's waiting for... Is it... Who's waiting for McDonald's to reopen? Someone mentioned McDonald's a little while. Daniel Woodhouse, I think it is. Daniel Woodhouse. ER Daniel, you ready, sunshine? Get your money ready. Well, not money. Tap, 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 tap. No cash, dear. The banks are rubbing their hands like this now. All this virus thing, so we've been told it can be carried on cash. The banks don't want us to use cash anymore. Of course they don't. They're rubbing their hands together. They're so pleased that this virus has happened. Ah, yes, won't have to make any more cash. We can make even more money out of these poor people now. Dreadful, isn't it? Return of the Mac. McDonald's is pushed on its return to normality, opening a further 168 drive-thrus yesterday, plus another 22 for delivery. I didn't know they do delivery. Did you know that? I never knew McDonald's did delivery. Huge queues built up at the burger train. Welcome back the Big Mac and McFlurry fans who had not had a fix since the restaurants shut on March the 23rd. And if you've seen these queues, there must be some sort of drugs. Perhaps they're putting in the marijuana stuff that we were talking about earlier. Buy your Big Mac here and chips. Oh, and you get a free roll-up thing. What were you calling it? Blow. A blow? Oh, whatever. It says it's the latest stage of... And the queues. They're desperate to get a McDonald's. How can you be that desperate to have a Big Mac? It's the latest stage in having more than 1,019 of its restaurants in the UK and Ireland up for drive-through or delivery for tomorrow. I must say, driving up the A1M and on my way to Lincolnshire, there's actually quite a few 24-hour McDonald's on that route. I quite like that. There's a certain... I don't know if it's familiarity or whatever it is. You see that McDonald's, oh, well, won't be much longer now. It's a bit like that. I've only ever stopped twice in the years that I've been in the 2 and a bit years I've been going up and down to the Caravan. I've only ever stopped twice. Once was with my mate. It got really late and we were so hungry. It was about 2 in the morning. We went into the McDonald's. I think Spalding. I'd come off the A1M. And I'm on that last lot of roads, Rachel. Perhaps you'll know. I think it's on the Spalding one. Not 100% sure of that. My nephew would know. Anyway, so we're coming on this road. I'm not far, about 20 minutes from the Caravan now. And it's quite near... Oh, gosh, I can't remember now. I think that's where the shopping place is. Springfields. Is there a McDonald's on that roundabout where the Springfields one, on the other side of the road? Rachel would know that. Anyway, we stopped there and we went in there. It was a Saturday night, actually. We were going up for great nephew James's. Oh, do you know, I can't remember what the visit was for. No, I think it was for Olivia's christening. She's my nephew's one of my nephew's little girls, was for her christening, and we stopped at this McDonald's, and it was full of young people in there who had perhaps just been out, I don't know, somewhere, and gone in there for something to eat after. Is that the one? Is it, Rachel? Yeah, I think that was the one there. And we stopped in, and they were very well behaved. There was none of this shouting and screaming like they do in London. Dreadful. Oh, the attitude of the kids in London is so different to it is once you come out of it. They were there. They were a little bit, noisy, but what do you expect? These were young people in there. Some of them probably had a couple of drinks and that, but all very well behaved. All very well behaved. And a couple of them said hello as we walked in. Two old gits, Coming in there, I was sitting with my vanilla shake. Never have a vanilla shake if it's gone warm. It's vile. Oh, it's vile. There I was with my vanilla shake, and I think I had a veggie burger, chips. I think I might have had onion rings. I went the whole hog. The onion rings and, of course, the McDonald's apple pie. Yes, please, mummy. We like those. Maybe some ice cream as well. That was all right, And it's on that route. There's quite a lot of them. I think there's one. Let's try and think. 1, 2. I think I go past 3. And a new one opened recently. And it's kind of within. There's a drive-through Starbucks, and it's a new garage complex. So there's a petrol garage, which I think is a BP. That's got a shop in it, but you can't walk in that one at night, and I hate that. Oh, could you get me that? And then the bloke in the window. You're in the freezing cold weather. Don't you hate that? Oh, I hate that. I think it's a BP. Might be a Shell. Can't remember. Anyway, so there's that. There's a drive-in Starbucks, and behind it there's a new McDonald's as well. I think that's 24 hours as well, and something else in that little bit there. Yes. Anyway, so 1,000 of them, they're about to open again. It says there's no plans yet to open for takeaway. Oh, okay. For now, no restaurants are allowed to open for eating in. Perspex screens and floor markings will help with contactless pickups. Staff will also wear face masks and have daily temperature checks. Smaller staff in kitchens means there are limited menus and shorter opening hours, with opening times opening at now 11 a.m, which is quite late, isn't it, really? Orders for drive-through and delivery are limited to £25 to speed things up. Well, I don't understand that at all. Why would you limit what people can buy in a restaurant? Delivery will be via Uber Eats and Just Eats. Well, hang on a minute. Oh, I see. There are no plans yet to open for takeaway. And for now, no restaurants. Well, that don't make sense, does it? Well, can you take it away or can't you? Have I missed something out here? Until yesterday, 44 had been open as bosses fine-tuned the best way to keep staff, delivery drivers and customers safe. Full marks to McDonald's for that. There are no plans yet to open for takeaway. And for now, no restaurants are allowed to open for eating in. Well, how'd you get it then? Oh, they obviously haven't checked the story before they printed it. Anyway, all the chains, 920 for drive-thrus, will be open by, looks like by then, with 34 of them also offering McDelivery. Well, there's not a lot of sense coming from that story, but judging from the general tone of the thing there, it's on its way. McDonald's is on its way back, which will please, I'm sure, most of you there. Thank you, Heidi. Springfield Spalding, it is that one, is it? Thank you, Heidi. And Rachel as well there. Let's just scroll down a bit there. McDevonport, don't get McDonald's delivery. They charge $3.50 to $4.50 delivery. Well, I don't know, Mick. That sounds fairly reasonable to me. You've got to pay someone's wages. Someone's got to go and get on that bike and collect the stuff and bring it to you, and their petrol and all this, that and the other. That don't sound too bad to me, £3 to £4.50 delivery. So it depends what you get. If you just get a burger and some chips, and yes, it's going to be dear, isn't it? If you order £25, that sounds fairly reasonably to me, £3.50 to £4.50 delivery. Or if you're not happy to pay it, go and get it yourself. I wouldn't have anyone deliver. I've never had food delivered other than pizzas. That's the only food I've ever had delivered. My mate, he orders fish and chips. My aunt ordered fish and chips the other day. She's in Tring. And she was really disappointed. She said the portions were really big, but she just didn't like it, so she wouldn't order that again. And they charged her £10 for that, which I thought was very reasonable. £10 and the food. Altogether, £10, including delivery, which was good, wasn't it, eh? You know. Thank you, Peter. Likes the new background. It came from a site called Rosegal, ROSEGAL.com. That's where all the backdrops come from. Type in wall tapestry on the search. The last time I bought stuff from them was about a year ago. I tend to have a look around and buy loads of stuff for the future and then just hold on to it. But presumably they're still on. I hope they're still on there. I won't be able to get any more as time goes on there. Port-and-Lou limiting the price of the order so you don't get massive queues at the drive-thrus. Well, maybe they're Paul, I suppose. I don't know. Really. Peter, £25 McDonald's kidding. Feed me for a week. Yeah, it's all right, as I say. It's all right. How are we doing on time? Blimey, we've gone on a bit today, haven't we? Would you like to live on a bus? This is in the metro this morning. When you think of a London bus, the word luxury doesn't usually spring to mind. But a man has transformed a 30-year-old double-decker bus, which was used in the 1990s, into an extravagant place to stay. I've always wanted to drive a bus. You can do that, you know. You can go to places. I don't know so much about now, but you could go to places and pay to experience driving a bus. Yeah, and skid it on one of those skid things that they have. This bloke purchased a bus 3 years ago for £2,000. £2,000, a double-decker bus. It's not bad, is it? What's it do, 2 miles to the gallon? Oh, I can see myself turning up at my caravan site in that. Ha! What do you reckon, Heidi? I won't get round. Oh, they've done the roads apparently, Heidi. Did you know that? She's fixed all the roads because I had some serious holes in those roads. I gather they haven't just been fixed, they've been resurfaced, the roads on the caravan site. So they're obviously staying there for a while. You know, I'd hate to see him sell that because you never know who's going to get it afterwards. You know, it might be one of those dodgy caravan operators. Let's hope it remains like a family-run site for some time. But they've done all the... Can you just imagine me turning up with a bus? I wouldn't get round that last corner. Certainly not. Anyway, £2,000 he paid for his bus, but his initial intentions were simply for his family to use it. Richard said, originally I wanted it for my family. I've restored 5 VW campers. They're camp little things, aren't they? So I thought, wouldn't it be neat if I could convert a double-decker bus? It just progressed from there. My partner and my 2 daughters were giving me ideas, and then all of a sudden, my daughters suggested turning it into an Airbnb. The bloke got to work on the 74-seater bus, removing all the original seats apart from one and cutting the middle part of the bus to create a mezzanine look. Excuse me a moment. Can I just blow my nose? In total, Richard has spent £31,000 transforming the Wild Atlantic bus, he's called it, which is now equipped with hardwood floors, a toilet, a shower, 3 bedrooms, a fitted kitchen, a seating area, a wood-burning stove, an outdoor shower, a fireplace, a cottage garden, and a deck area. And I've got to say, it looks fantastic. If I can describe, especially Heidi would know this, it looks he's done it kind of like a caravan where the seats have gone around like that. I think you was mentioning that you took out all your seats, the fitted, but that's like mine. I don't have that fitted thing in mine either. That's all gone. I've got a lovely corner suite in there, which I don't know how much they paid for that. It looks like it's worth a lot of money, but they would have had to take out the window to put that in my caravan. Seriously, it's enormous, this thing. It's lovely. Really nice. And I don't have any fitted seats or beds in there either. I bought myself another bed from It was Argos. To be honest, I wish I'd spent a bit more on the bed. It's all right. It's nowhere near as comfortable as mine. You know, if I keep the Caravan for a while, which I intend to actually, I'll probably at some time buy another bed, probably from John Lewis. I know they're expensive, but there's nothing like having a comfortable bed, is there? You know. So he's transformed it, £31,000. He explained he did the majority of the practical work while his partner Helen and daughters helped with the interior design. It looks absolutely lovely because you've got an upstairs. You've got an upstairs and a downstairs on this thing, you know. The thing was to check the integrity of the bus and the strength would not interfere with what I was doing. Then I had to remove all the seating, which was a big job, and strip any interior, leaving the bus with the shell and the windows. Would you like to live on the bus? Or have a bus to go on holiday with? I'd love it. He had to come up with a new concept for the downstairs part of the bus where there is the seating area because I needed to convert it into a very large double bed. I had to build that by hand and come up with the design myself. I wanted an area where people would be comfortable. So where's the toilet? Where is the toilet? I can't see where the toilet is. Very important. See, I'd like a vehicle that had got a toilet on it. So anytime I wanted to go... This would be useful for you as well, Rachel. This would be useful for you, Rachel. So anytime we had trouble with our IBS, Rachel, because Rachel's got that as well. She don't mind me telling you that. Anytime we wanted to go to the top, we just pull over and go. Let's pull over, you know, hazard lights on, walk to the back of our vehicle, whatever it is, and sit down. Wonderful. Wonderful. I think all cars should have some sort of toilet in them. I really do. Heidi, they normally do that every time they shut down. What, the roads? Good. I don't think they did it last time though, because we came back and there was a particular hole. I don't know if you have to come around that part of the road, but you know where my Caravan is. That the road that runs parallel to the normal road. So you got the normal road, right? Then there's Silver's house. And then that road there within the site that runs parallel to that road, that one there was this massive hole there and an area of it that always seems to be full of water. And I said, you know the old bloke that goes around fixing stuff? He's a nice bloke. He's got some teeth missing. You know him? I think his name might be John. I'm not sure what his name is. Lovely bloke he is to talk to. Always got time for you. He fixes sewers and things like that, doesn't he? And I said to him, you got a broken pipe? He said, well, no, there's no pipe there. We don't, and they're not quite sure why that bit is always filling with water. I hope it's not the water table coming up underneath us. We'll all be floating away, Heidi. Bye. I'll be sailing. Bye. I'll carry on doing my show for as long as possible, though. Don't worry. As long as the cable reaches. Let's have a look there. Daniel, is this the time for me to point out that not every London bus is a route master? Yes, we know that. Yeah. I think that they're probably the most popular, the route masters, aren't they? When I was going to school, it changed from a route master. No, actually, it didn't. We still had the route master going to and from school, but then the buses with the doors came along. You know, one at the front and one in the middle. Those came along. I don't know what they're called. And they had that great big machine where you got the tickets from. This blooming machine. It took up like 4 seats. This machine when they put that. Remember that at the front of the bus? That great big buttons like that they were. You put, and half the time they didn't work. this great. I remember them putting on that, and I thought, what on earth is that? And it was a ticket machine on the bus. But this ticket machine, it took up 4 seats. So you lost 4 seats on the bus. Madness. Okay. Peter, you need to be a little bit patient. I told you before, dear, I don't need a producer telling me what to do and when to do it, dear. When are you going to learn that, my love? By the way, Peter, tell us a bit about you. What do you do? What is your job, Peter? We want to know what you do, how old you are. We want to know everything about you today on the show. Here's your chance to shine, Peter. Here's your chance. What do you do? What's your job? Okay, where do you live? How old are you? You know, are you married? Anything like that? Tell us all about yourself in 1 paragraph. We want to know about you today. Peter used to walk to school in 1056. Gosh, are you that old, Peter Paliwoda? He walked to, do you see, I had to walk to school, softies, 1056. Gosh, you're older than I thought. Oh, Rachel's all right. She's got one of those bags. No problems. We get on with it, don't we, Rachel? Rachel, with our various things, bits and pieces. We just carry on, don't we? How are we doing? One more story? One more story? One more story. And then we'll see if Peter's answered that question. He's always asking me bloody questions. So there's one for you. Tell us about yourself, Peter. We want to know how old you are, what you do for a living, and where you live, and whether you're single or not. It's okay. I'm not chatting you up. I've no interest in the relationship. Thank you very much. Beeb, the BBC's voice assistant. The BBC are going head-to-head with Amazon. Look at this. Beeb is going to be the BBC's voice assistant, and it's been released to early adopters for testing on Windows computers. Now, listen, don't ever take that on. Don't ever be a beta tester. You can get into serious trouble with your computer with that. The voice assistant, which uses Microsoft technology, is in the beta phase, a period when not all features are present or working properly. Its synthesized digital voice is based on that of a UK voice actor with a Northern England accent. Oh, I hope it's Liverpool. I think that's ever so sexy, the Liverpool accent. The team behind Beeb, that's called Beeb, what a great name, have been working hard to ensure it can understand other regional accents, which is very useful to that Nicola Sturgeon. I mean, what is she saying, dear? I can't understand a word that comes out of that little woman's mouth. I use the term little. What on earth is she saying? She goes on and on. I'm searching for the subtitles thing on there. When a user downloads the beta version, they will be asked what accent they want or they have, so their voice can be used to train the assistant too. The BBC says no recordings will be kept. Only anonymised transcripts of the few seconds after a user says the wake command, which is, OK, Beeb. Does that sound better than the one we use? I don't know. The BBC's, it says the beta version can access BBC Radio, music, podcast, news, where they respond to some queries with unique answers based on BBC programmes. New features will be adding in the coming weeks and months. It has an ambitious vision for Beeb, but he says that there remains a long way to go. Other common features and other voice assistants, such as timers, are not included in this first version. As I say, I've got the Amazon one. I've got a few of them now. They're just fantastic. I can turn lights on and off. I can check the temperature at my Caravan. I can turn the air conditioning or heating on at the Caravan before I get there. It's fantastic. I turn my kettle on in the morning from my bedroom. Either the one here or the one at the Caravan. You know, so I'm laying in bed and I can say the Amazon word, home kettle on. And it says, OK. Then I get up. I'm downstairs. The kettle's boiled. Blooming wonderful. So the BBC are at it now. They're trying to invent one as well. And we'll see how that goes. All righty. Let's see if... Oh, thanks very much. We've got emails here. Shania, Adrian, George, Dr. Gregorian, Steve Murray. I got a picture from you there. Thank you very much. And Gavin Bass. I'll deal with your raffle tickets a little bit later on. Meanwhile... let's see what Peter has said. Where's he now? Peter's 46. He worked in Wilko's. Is that like Woolworths? Woolworths. Am I right there? Is Wilko's the same as what Woolworths was? When's the last time I saw a Wilko's? Oh gosh, I think that was in Llewellyn Garden City? Something like that. That's up the A1M, isn't it? Llewellyn Garden City, somewhere like that. I think I went into Wilko's. I was quite impressed, actually. And in there, oh, it's wonderful. They've got this thing with all screws and nuts and bolts. And you pick a bag and you just fill it up with all this stuff and then you just go and pay for it. You weigh it and pay for it. Very good. You don't have to buy 200 screws and you only want one. When you go into blooming B&Q or Wickes, whole packets of these damn things. Only want one. Do you remember when you could go into a hardware shop? There'd probably still one or two around. You go there, I want one of these screws, please. There you go, that's 20 pence, please. You know. Do you remember that? You could just go and buy one washer. I don't want a bag of 200 washers. Yes, if that's the same place, then I quite like that shop, Peter. Very nice indeed. Mandy's dad was a bus conductor in the early 70s. With that thing. You can buy those on eBay. Hang on, how much are they? They're really expensive. Have you ever looked, Mandy? Now, what is it? Bus conductors... Bus... ticket machine? Let's see if we can find one. There they are! Oh, no, that's the box. They got the box. No, there's not one on there. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there's one. Oh, no, that's a children's thing. That's a children's thing there. I'm not finding... What's it? Bus... Williamson Steamboat ticket print pouch? No. Oh, they haven't got one on there. Wow, I saw them on there before and they were... Oh! That looks... Ooh, that looks like one. Vintage bus conductors, travel transport ticket machine and Tim. £100. No bids yet. Tim ticket machine ticket roll with Silver Jubilee buses advert on reverse. £5.99. Conductors bus ticket machine. That's all I can find. You can't find one that looks fairly decent. You can find the boxes that they used to carry them around, little brown box. Do you remember? They had a little brown bag, and that's where their ticket machine. I always remember the conductor, and he had his little cupboard, didn't he, on those Route Masters? Do you remember? They had a little cupboard there, and that's where belongs to the conductor, all the stuff in there. Is it a Wayfarer? Okay, Wayfarer. Let's type it into Google. Let's see what happens. Wayfarer ticket machine. Let's see if we get anything on there. No, they're all modern things. That don't look right. Oh, I suppose they would be, wouldn't they? Ticket machine images, maybe. Images. Oh, there's one. Oh, here's one. London. That's it. That's it. London. London Transport Gibson ticket machine A14, £650. Wow. And it's that. Oh, I want one. I want one. There's only one there. It's been well cleaned up. It looks almost new. £650 for one of those bus machines. Yeah, I'll get one of your kids one of those for their birthday. Something like that, eh? Good morning to LaBelle. She loves toy accent. What is toy accent? I don't know what that is. Do you speak to Ronnie? Yes, most days, George, yes. Peter is single, so if anyone's interested in Peter, there you go. He's available. Rachel, people take me as they see me. If they don't like it, bugger them. I'm of that opinion as well, Rachel. I've spent all my life, sucking up to people. Oh, yes, no. And not anymore. I've had enough of that. Not doing it anymore. My sister says I've become aggressive. God dear. I only become aggressive if I see stupid comments. That's when I become aggressive, dear. And God knows we see enough of those sometimes, don't we? Okay. What's the Amazon word? I'm not saying because it sets everyone's machines off. It's not fair for them. Thank you, Daniel. Wilco is Woolworths with a different hat on. I thought it was, yeah. Those router handle ticket machines were called Gibsons. Thank you, Daniel. Heidi, sadly, as usual, BBC behind the times. Worked for them over the years, Chris. Loved my job, but sadly I don't agree with many ways they do things. So I went self-employed. The best thing I ever did. Yes, it's very different now, isn't it? The whole thing is different. I don't like the aggressive way people are being interviewed on the telly. They just go on and on. Why don't they get the thing? They're not going to answer that question. Whatever that question is, it doesn't matter how hard. And Piers Morgan is the worst one. I quite like him. I like his thought on. He's very. He's got some reasonable common sense there, which a lot of people don't have anymore. You know what I mean? But he just goes on and on at them sometimes, on and on all the time, and give it a rest. He was doing it this morning. This bloke had come on to talk about something, and he turned it round and started asking about Dominic Cummings again. Give it a rest. We've heard it all. Move on and on all the time. Dear. I could use it for the raffle tickets. Good idea, Rachel. If you want a raffle ticket, please ask now, boys and girls. Get your raffle ticket requests in now, okay? And I'll sort those out after I've got to the end of these messages. If text message, whatever way you want to do it, ask for your raffle ticket now. If you've already sent in an email, don't worry. I'll deal with those after the show. Peter. Oh, where are we now? Missed that now. Why don't you get a ticket machine for the raffle? Good God, no. No, not for £650. I haven't got that to spend on a blooming ticket machine. Fran's dad was a bus conductor. Left for Landers delivery, then Warburton's delivery till he retired doing the bread. Warburton's bread, yes please. Paul and Lou have been to the shops and back and I'm still here. Yes. Oh, I beg your pardon. You like my accent, do you, LaBelle? My accent apparently is Thames. I've been told it's London Thames Estuary. I've no idea what that means. It's London Thames Estuary. Someone said that once, honestly. God knows what they mean by that. Okay, there we go. Let's do your raffle tickets then, my darlings. I haven't got any torn out yet ready for this. What was that? Right, where are we starting today? Raffle tickets for Monday's raffle are coming now, my darlings. There you go. It is surprising, though, going back to messages and hurt feelings and all that. I think it was Peter Paliwoda mentioned that. You know, people certainly comments, not so much on here actually, but comments on what you do. Comments on there which are really nasty. And people are so surprised when you answer the comment in the same tone that it was on there. You know, or you think, well, you've obviously looked at everything I do and don't like it. Let's have a look at you. And then you can find the same faults with them that they've picked up about you. And you just come back at them. Well, they don't like that, do they? You know, what a joke. Right, let's do these raffle tickets. Did I see Ray Reynolds appear there somewhere? No? Yes? Maybe it's down the bottom a little. Let me just scroll up here, do the tickets. Where are we now? There we go. Maureen's just texted in there. 621 for Maureen. Thank you, Maureen. Colin Coates, 622. Please don't ask for a ticket twice until I say I've got to the end of the tickets. Please ask now if I've missed you, okay? Otherwise we get confused. Someone accidentally got 2 this week, which I found anyway, but so that was all sorted. Colin Coates, thank you. 622 for Colin. John Aitken, 623. Michael Lawrence, 624. Colin K, 625. Mick Davenport, 626. John Aitken, 627. Sorry, I've done you, haven't I, John? Where is that now? Andy, 627. We done Michael? Michael Lawrence is there. 624. Michael Lawrence, wasn't it? Hang on a minute. Let me just scroll up there. Where are we? Colin K we've done. There's Collins. Ray loves the new backdrop. Thank you, Ray. It's been up for days, Ray. Oh, you're not a regular viewer anymore, are you, Ray? Look, it's been up for days, that dear. Very disappointed you didn't spot it before. He's back from Wix and B&Q. Thank you. Diane Jebb, 628. Fran Green, 629. Paul Adamson, 630. Paul and Lou, 631. Peter Wright, 632. Jason Hughes, 633. Tony King, 634. Rachel, 635. Scrolling. I saw Rachel there. Where's Rachel gone? There you are, my love. Is that Tony King there? I thought we'd already done Tony King. Tony King, I've got 634 for Tony King. Why has that come up twice there? 1 minute. I must have jumped down a little bit then, have I? Oh well. Claire L, 636. There's Heidi Young, 637. Raffle for this is on Monday mornings, my love, all right? Make sure you write down your numbers. You need your numbers because I don't read out the names on Monday. Make sure you write down these numbers. Sean Pye, very quiet today, Sean. Good morning to you. 638 for young Sean. Thank you, Sean. Love to your missus as well. Okay, there. Michael Lawrence, 639. Hang on a minute. We've already done Michael as well. What's going on here? Not 639, 624 for Michael Lawrence. You've asked twice, Michael. Please only ask once. 624 is Michael Lawrence. Ross Herndon, 639. Done. Peter Paliwoda, 640. Oh, John's got Warburton's seeded bread. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Everyone in London sounds the same. Rough. We ain't got burning cars though outside our front doors though, Mick. Thames sewage systems accent. Perhaps. Yvonne Lemon, 641. Chris Woodhouse, 642. Mr. Media Mate, a very good morning to you, sir. Joey Millen, 643. Okay, well, I've got 2 requests. Can everyone see Michael Lawrence's 2 requests for tickets there? I can. It's up there twice there, Michael. Maybe you hit the button accidentally. I don't know. Here you go. Just under Mick Davenport the first time, and the second time. Just under Sean Pye. Oh no, it says Morning Tony. My mistake. You're not asking for another ticket. I must have pain and suffering. Mandy, I need pain and suffering, please. Pain and suffering, please, Mandy. Thank you very much. Oh, hang on. Oh, oh, oh. There you are. You've seen me be punished now, Michael. You're just upset because there's no pool table for you to play on. Have you got a pool table? Have you got a pool? Some people have got pool table. Take up a lot of room, though, don't they? Eh? Yeah. All right. If I've missed anyone out, please speak now, okay? I've got some emails in from people requesting their tickets, which are waiting to be sorted out there. Michael Pullman, Shania. I think I've read out those names already, actually, haven't I? All right. Meanwhile, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday today on this, Wednesday the 3rd of June, 2022. James Humble, who was with us earlier. Good morning, James. 15 today. Happy birthday, James. Yvonne Lemon today is 53 years old. Happy birthday, Yvonne. Igor Olarita is 21 today. Mark Goosh, good morning, Mark. Happy birthday to you. And Neil Rennie today is 45 years old. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Twice. twice, coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Buh, buh. Happy birthday. Buh, 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 buh. There we are. That's all today, gang. Thank you very much. Don't forget, it's the Super Chatters raffle tomorrow morning. Who's going to win all those wonderful prizes that we're giving away this week? That's on tomorrow's show. Daniel's now reverting to the test card and some music. Lots of people wishing people happy birthday there. Michael's wetting himself now because he's pleased he made a mistake this morning, which is there's 2 mistakes I've made today, isn't it? Anyway, thanks ever so much for joining us on the show. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning, round about the same time. And yes, have a nice day. Thanks for watching and listening. Cheerio now.